The beauty with the resistance, if we don't get stuck into the unworthiness, the actual process will teach us a lot uh, of the information we need to finally accomplish what we had in mind.
Also, distraction. I know a lot of people are distracted on mobile devices and our phones, and kind of gets into a bad habit with addiction. Distraction is also resistance.
In the core of things, I think there is this fear of experiencing hurtful or scary or sad feelings.
Hello, everyone. It's Mary Lynn with Shift Your Energy Now podcast, and with me is my special guest, Carin Eklund from Sweden. Today's topic is resistance. Hello, everyone. It's Mary Lynn with Shift Your Energy Now podcast, and with me is my special guest, Carin Eklund from Sweden. Today's topic is resistance. So, Carin, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Carin, and I live in Sweden, and I'm the founder of Magic Mittens, and I've been seeing clients using different modalities for almost 20 years by now.
And Carin, I am a client of Carin, and she's a phenomenal healer. She uses a lot of different techniques, but she definitely helps with resistance. So resistance is a lot of times just frustration. It's things aren't working out. Can you talk about what is resistance?
I would say that resistance is something that we have inside of us, and it's mirrored on the outside as blockages, or we can perceive it as other people stopping us.
Blaming other people. This isn't happening because of that person. And actually, it's always all about us. It's
Yeah.
our energy that's just being mirrored back. So resistance comes about in so many different forms. Things aren't working out for us. There's frustration, disappointment, all of these things. They're just different forms of, or different symptoms of resistance. And where is the resistance? It's coming from us. How does that happen?
I I would say that mostly it is a lack of self-love. It all boils down to that we don't think ourselves to be worthy or lovable enough or good enough or beautiful enough or clever enough or rich enough or whatever enoughness you would like to put on the dotted line.
So give me an example of resistance in a person's life or in your life. Or
What would I choose? I we can take this podcast as an example.
okay. That's a good example.
I've struggled with a fear of public speaking for most of my life until I decided to no, I have to do something about this. I have to give myself my own medicine, the medicine I recommend for my clients. I have to do the work myself on this topic because it's stopping me. And what happened was when we tried to record the first episode, when we had technical problems. After that, I lost my voice. And had to be quiet.
Laryngitis, right?
So yeah, so
And this is for everyone. This is our third attempt.
mm,
So you set out at the beginning of the year that you were going to do a podcast, and it was kind of blocking you from taking your business to the next step because of fear of speaking. But so you were just resisting it all over the place. And then you set the intention to have a podcast in 2025. And then I come along and say, hey, I'm going to do a podcast. Do you want to be one of my guests? Then that got a lot, that started churning energies in within you. And our first attempt was pretty much a disaster. And the second, then you got laryngitis, so then you physically couldn't do it. And then we tried again, and again, more technical issues. And this is our third try. So that's a great example that you make a decision, and then it's going to churn up all kinds of things within us that look like challenges while we work on and resisting, right? Because it's so easy to give up. Oh, it doesn't work. The technology, my laryngitis, I didn't get around to it. A lot of people drop what that vision was. And you felt like you needed to go public and on podcasts so you could build your business more. Yeah, so that's an excellent example.
Yeah, and the beauty with the resistance, if we don't get stuck into the unworthiness, the actual process will teach us a lot of the information we need to finally accomplish what we had in mind. So we have learned a lot during these disastrous attempts, you and I as well, haven't we?
Oh, yes. And me too, because, a lot of things, anytime anyone does something different, so it's, podcast or whatever, things come in to kind of test you. Are you really committed to this? Because you're going to have to make some changes in loving yourself more, in believing yourself more, in trusting your intuition more. And then that's change. And a lot of people, that it's just kind of our nature where we don't like change, even though it's for the better, that if we do things differently, it doesn't just change in one area of our life, all aspects of our lives improve. So where does all this lack of self-love and low self-esteem and not believing that we're worthy, where does all that come from?
I would say it comes from previous experience we've had, and that creates fear within us. So we decide to, oh no, last time we had this feeling, it was really scary and it didn't end well, so I better avoid this.
Right. And avoidance is another way of resisting. Resist, the topic resistance has so many manifestations. It shows up as blockages, it shows up as disappointment, giving up. Like, we do so much to maintain our low self-worth and our unworthiness. I had a friend and she said, I work so hard to keep what's not good for me going. We actually have to work hard to keep all of this stuff active and alive in us, because it's so much easier just to release it, get rid of the blockages, start believing and trusting and loving ourselves. So, and that's where Carin is really helpful, that she does sessions with people and trauma release. She's also an astrologer. She also offers a 20-minute free introductory call. So if that is interest to you, her website, it's Magic Mittens, mittens like what you wear in the winter in magic, www.magicmittens.com, and you could sign up for the introductory free 20-minute session. So how do you work with people to get them to whatever it is, where it's not listening to our intuition, it's not trusting ourselves, not believing in ourselves, having that low self-worth, not feeling like we're worthy of it? And I know you said it's within us, but I feel like we inherit it from our ancestors as well. What kind of strategies do you use to uncover that and release it?
It is one of my favorite methods, is something I've learned from Sheila and Marcus Gillette. It is called the soul integration facilitation method, which is a beautiful way of going back and meeting that part of ourselves that decided that this is far too dangerous. I never want to feel this way again. And then starts to make us avoid situation that has a similar feeling to them. So that is what I use.
And that's just another word for resistance.
Mm.
That because we don't want to look within ourselves or acknowledge the trauma or whatever happened, we kind of act out in non-beneficial ways, resisting the good things to come to us. Oh, no, that could create, 3 steps down a situation that I'm trying to avoid. So it's avoidance and yeah. Also distraction. I know a lot of people are distracted on mobile devices and our phones, and kind of gets into a bad habit with addiction. Distraction is also resistance.
Yeah, it's a way to avoid the uncomfortable feelings. And maybe also sometimes we all do this, I guess, in one way or another. Uh, it is to avoid even realizing that we are stopping ourselves from doing what we would love to do. We put
Right,
our
because
mind somewhere else.
when we're addicted to something and you're on your phone and this and this, and I know the algorithm gives you another thing that, catches your eye and keeps you activated. I forget the word they use to get your brain engaged. Oh, maybe dopamine hits or something they say.
Mm,
So now you're avoiding everything, right?
mm,
You're avoiding life basically,
mm,
as the same as with drugs or alcohol or workaholism. It's
mm,
a way of avoiding facing life or engaging with life, and kind of gives you a substitute. Is
I think everything can be used as avoidance. You can cleaning or homework or
exercising.
yeah,
Yes, I know
yeah.
a few people,
Mm.
extreme exercisers, which is just to me, another way of
But
avoiding.
in the very in the core of things, I think there is this fear of experiencing hurtful or scary or sad feelings. And
Right.
when I started to dig on my podcast problem, I traveled back to occasions in my childhood. We moved a lot when I was a kid, and during from 6 years to 12 years, I went to 5 different schools because because of a lot of different reasons. My father made a brilliant career, and there were shifts in the school board, so they shifted kids around. So I what made me fearful of speaking in front of people was that feeling of standing as a new student in front of 25 kids staring at you, and a well-meaning teacher saying, "Oh, please, today we have a new student. Would you
They
like to
do that.
introduce
Yeah.
yourself?"
Come and stand in front of the class and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Probably the worst thing you could do to a new student.
Yeah, exactly. So that was what made me freeze like a deer in headlights as soon as I wanted or needed to speak in front of a lot of people.
Mhm.
And when I found that, I could have compassion with myself. And I suddenly this pattern of avoiding talking in front of a lot of people made sense.
And if you think about it, it's a legitimate reason that as a child, you avoided this, you dreaded it, and then you carried it into your adulthood. But now it affects your overall life, especially when you're building a business
Mm,
and you want to thrive. And here you don't feel comfortable speaking in front of anybody
mm,
other than one person. So
mm,
uh, yeah, so I meet with Carin. I'm one of her clients. I highly recommend working with her. She's very effective. But that's another good point you bring up is when we want to grow or expand,
mm,
what a lot of people don't realize is we have to change something
mm,
because we're only getting what we're vibrating now.
mm,
So what our energy is now is what we're getting. So if we want something different, if we wanted to accelerate that, pardon me, is we have to go within.
And in the process of expansion, we'll learn a lot about ourselves, and we'll learn to have more compassion for ourselves and to support ourselves in a better way. So there are so many benefits that come from.
And to
From
me,
it.
a huge issue I had is I wasn't comfortable listening to my intuition. I would have it and then always discard it. And that affected everything in my life because I was being told what the next step is and what direction to take. And then I would deny it and, oh, no, not trusting myself, listening to other people that did not have me as their best interest. And it really, that was one long resistant, right? I was resisting my own intelligence. And that had effects on every aspect of my life. So yeah, now I listen to my intuition pretty much no matter what, and it changed my whole life.
And would you agree that during that process of figuring out where you had given your power away, that process in itself was a journey and
Yeah. Well,
enjoyable.
yeah, it was healing. And I call Carin a healer because when we work on ourselves and we, like you said, it's all about self-love and feeling we're worthy. When we figure that out, why aren't we trusting ourselves? Why aren't we loving ourselves? Why aren't we, believing in ourselves? You start to heal all these aspects. It's very healing. And then it's like magic. Things start manifesting and going your way with ease and grace and divine timing. And it was because we were just kind of giving our power away, right? So another thing of resisting to me, it's like we have so much power. And when we resist what it would be natural because of low self-esteem, low self-worth, I don't deserve that. Well, I'm not going to listen to my intuition. Yeah, it just creates, you know, a lot of other issues in our life. So yeah, yeah. Well, let's wrap this up. I highly encourage everybody to go on www.magicmittens.com, and we'll put it over in the description so you can contact Carin and heal yourself. If anything's not working, and oftentimes we don't understand what we're resisting because it's unconscious. That's another thing, is when it's unconscious. So yes, thank you for tuning in, and we'll have Carin, I'm sure, on the show again. And Carin, you have any final words?
Yeah, I I think it might feel sad or upsetting or scary when we start digging in what we carry inside. But the relief and the joy and the flow that comes with it is really worth it, because life becomes more colorful and enjoyable.
And that's why I named the podcast Shift Your Energy Now, because we literally can shift our energy now. And when we do, life gets so much better. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.